In a river valley on the banks of a small but fast-flowing chalk stream stood an old watermill. Coincidence. The mill had been handed down from generation to generation through the same family for as long as anyone could remember, for as long as trout had swum in the river. The miller was an honest, hard-working man, and his son, who knew he would one day inherit the mill, worked just as hard as his father. They would rise with the sun, eat a hearty breakfast, and begin milling. As the stream would race, so the mill wheel would turn, stones would grind, and father and son would set to work, just as their ancestors had done before. Every day, morning to night, 6 days a week, with no thought for stopping, and no wish for anything other than to carry on a proud family tradition. The miller's wife, the boy's mother, had an evil heart. She had married the miller simply because she knew the miller's family owned the mill. And she also knew that as long as the farmers grew wheat and the stream kept flowing to turn the stones to grind the wheat, then the mill would keep working, the family would have money. She had no real love for the miller and cared little for her son. She simply knew there would always be work for the mill, food on the family table, and a roof above her head. But the miller's son knew love, and with all his heart he loved a beautiful girl in the village, but his mother was not happy. But the girl's father was blind and unable to work, so he had no steady income. His wife had died when his daughter was but a child, and so any husband she might take would have to accept the father of this house. If her son married the girl, as she knew he planned to, that would mean 2 more hungry mouths to feed, 2 more people to sleep under the roof of the mill, and yet neither of them would be able to work or contribute to the family's income. When her son announced his intention to marry, his mother's anger was unstoppable. She shouted and screamed. She broke furniture and made threats. Poured the soup she had made for supper down the well. And she marched round and round the yard in such a furious temper, her husband, her son, and the young girl all feared for their safety. The hens scattered. The geese took to the water. And both the cat and the dog ran for bottom. The husband, the son, and the young girl stood open-mouthed, watching the miller's wife until she suddenly came to a halt. She turned to look at the 3 of them and, taking a deep breath, shouted a curse upon them all. At which point they all 3 turned to cold stone pillars, stood in a line in front of the mill's window. And there they still stand, silently outside the altar. Its sails no longer turn, the stones no longer grind, the roof has long since fallen in, and is no longer able to provide a refuge for the old woman, who, hungry and cold, cries herself to sleep each night, filled with remorse and regret, left alone with only